Okay, picture this. You're on a website, and it looks amazing. Great design, beautiful images, but then you start reading the words.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like suddenly you hit a wall of just pure boredom.
Yeah,
That's the sneaky power of bad copywriting.
it really is.
But good news is we're going to dive into how to make your words really sing today, because we are diving deep into our guide to crafting copy that converts.
Love it. And I think it's so funny. We can spend so much time on the visuals of a website or an ad,
Yeah.
but it's the words that really matter. They're the ones doing the persuading.
Yeah, they're the heroes.
They are the heroes. They're the ones connecting, ultimately getting people to actually do something.
So true. And that's why I am so excited about this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to go through all the actionable insights that we use every day here at Gill Media to help businesses make an impact.
Absolutely. And that's because every single word, whether it's on your website, in an email, a social media post, you name it,
Yep.
it's a chance to either draw people in or make them run for the hills. We want to make sure it's the former.
For sure. So first things first, why does copy even matter so much?
Right.
Our guide really emphasizes that design might catch the eye, but it's the copy that really seals the deal. It's not just informing, it's about forging a connection.
Think of it like this. You meet someone at a party, they look great,
Right.
they're dressed to the nines, but then they open their mouth and nothing interesting comes out.
Ah,
You're not exactly going to be begging for their number, are you?
no, not a second date there.
Exactly. It's the same online. You could have the best looking website, but if your words are boring or confusing,
Yeah,
people are going to bounce faster than you can say conversion rate.
so true. So how do we make sure our copy is the life of the party?
Right.
Well, our guide lays out 6 key ingredients for really compelling copy.
Okay.
It's like a recipe for success.
I like that.
A recipe.
So we'll go through each ingredient one by one.
Yeah, let's do it.
So ingredient number 1, know your audience.
Oh, this is huge.
I know we hear this all the time, but so many businesses try to speak to everyone, right?
And they end up connecting with no one.
It's like trying to cook a 5-star meal without knowing if your guest is vegan or allergic to shellfish.
Exactly. You need to know who you are talking to.
Yeah.
And I love the example in the guide about working with a luxury real estate client.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
So instead of using generic phrases like beautiful homes for sale, they got laser focused with copy like find your dream home in Toronto's most prestigious neighborhoods.
Much better.
And guess what?
What?
It worked.
Did it really?
30% increase in leads just from tweaking the language.
Wow.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it shows that even small changes can make a big difference. It's not about being salesy or anything. It's about aligning your message with what your audience actually cares about.
For sure. Okay, so know your audience. Check ingredient number 2. Use clear and conversational language.
This is a good one.
This one really speaks to me
Oh, tell me why.
because I am all about cutting through the clutter and just getting to the point.
I love that.
And that means ditching the jargon.
Yes, please.
So often we get caught up in using big fancy words that confuse people,
Right, especially in the business world.
especially in the business world.
Yeah,
The guide says to write like you're talking to a friend.
love it.
And they give a fantastic example with this before and after makeover.
Okay.
So they had this clunky line, our services facilitate the enhancement of customer engagement through tailored strategies.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
That's a mouthful.
But then they changed it to, we help you connect with your customers and grow your business with custom strategies.
So much better.
It's amazing what a difference.
Yeah, the first one sounds like a robot. The second one sounds like a human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, ingredient number 3, focus on benefits, not features.
This is an important one.
Yeah, we hear this all the time, but people don't just want to know what your product or service does. They want to know how it's going to improve their lives.
Absolutely. It's about the so what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're selling a smartphone,
Yeah.
don't just list specs like, 64 gigabytes of storage.
Right.
Tell them what that actually means for them. Store thousands of photos and videos without worrying about running out of space.
Perfect. You painted the picture.
You got to paint the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of painting pictures, ingredient number 4 is all about calls to action.
Oh, yes. Love these.
And, it seems straightforward.
Yeah.
But there's a real art to crafting CTAs that actually get people clicking.
Oh, for sure.
So what makes some phrases better than others?
I think it's finding that sweet spot between being clear and direct, but also being enticing and maybe even a little bit playful.
Oh, okay.
So instead of just saying, learn more,
Yeah.
try something like unlock the secrets to better copywriting
I like that.
or get your free copywriting guide today.
Ooh, that's good. It's
Right.
like you're adding a sense of urgency and excitement.
Totally. You're not just suggesting an action. You're compelling people to take that action now.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to test different wording.
Yeah. Test, test, test.
Even small tweaks can make a big difference.
Huge difference.
All right, now for one of my favorites.
What's that?
Leverage storytelling.
Oh, I love stories.
This is where things get really fun.
I agree because stories have that ability to cut through all the noise and connect with us on a deeper level.
Yeah, they're more emotional.
They are. They help us relate to brands
And remember them.
and remember them long after we've scrolled past their website.
And the guide shares a great example
Oh, yeah.
with a family-owned bakery
Okay.
that saw a 40% increase in online orders after they added their origin story to their website.
That's amazing.
40%.
Wow.
That's huge.
But you know what? I bet it wasn't just any origin story.
Yeah.
It was a story that tapped into that feeling of nostalgia. You know,
Yeah.
that feeling of a local family-run business, the kind of place where you know you're getting something made with love.
Exactly. So it's not just telling a story. It's telling the right story.
Yes.
One that aligns with your brand values and speaks to your audience's heart.
It's true. It's so true. Okay, and the final ingredient for today, ingredient number 6, optimize for search engines without sounding like a robot.
So important.
Yes, this is where I think a lot of people get tripped up.
Yeah, they think SEO means just stuffing your copy with keywords until it sounds like something a computer wrote.
Exactly, but it doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Think about how you search for things online.
Yeah.
You don't just type in a bunch of keywords.
Yeah.
You use conversational phrases.
Yeah.
So it's about incorporating those keywords strategically.
Mm-hmm.
So your copy still sounds human
Restful.
while also appealing to the search engine algorithms.
Right. And there's that landscaping business example.
Oh, right.
Instead of keyword stuffing with phrases like, landscaping Vaughn best services,
Yeah.
they opted for more natural language like transform your outdoor space in Vaughn.
So much better.
It just sounds so much more appealing.
And it proves that you can rank well in search results and sound like a human. It's all
Yeah.
about finding that balance. So there you have it, the 6 essential ingredients for crafting copy that converts.
I love it.
But do these techniques work in the real world?
Good question.
That's what we're going to be talking about in part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll be exploring some real-life case studies that show how powerful these copywriting principles can be.
Awesome. Can't wait. Yeah. That's the million-dollar question, right? Like, it's one thing to talk about theory, but do these copywriting principles actually get results?
Anyone can make claims,
Right.
but seeing is believing.
Exactly.
And that's where things get really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go behind the scenes at Gill Media
Oh, nice.
and share some real-world case studies that show how we've used these techniques to help our clients see some pretty incredible results.
Love that. Because, we don't just rely on anecdotes or anything.
Mhm.
We track the data meticulously, like website traffic conversion rates, the whole shebang, so we can see what's working and what needs to be adjusted.
Data-driven copywriting.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through one of these success stories. What's a case study that really highlights the power of these techniques?
Okay, well, one that comes to mind is a dental clinic that we worked with.
Okay.
They came to us with a website that was, well, let's just say it wasn't exactly inspiring people to pick up the phone and book an appointment.
I can imagine dental websites can be a bit clinical.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So we did a deep dive into their brand, their target audience, and we realized that the key was to shift the focus away from just listing services and procedures.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to address those underlying anxieties that so many people have about going to the dentist.
I see what you mean. It's not just about fixing teeth.
Right.
It's about building trust and comfort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we totally revamped their website copy, highlighting their approachable team,
Okay.
their commitment to gentle care, and the fact that they cater to patients of all ages.
So instead of saying, we offer root canals, it was more like, we understand that going to the dentist can be stressful, so we've created a welcoming environment where you'll feel comfortable and cared for.
You got it. And the results were pretty amazing.
Really?
The clinic saw a 50% increase in appointment bookings in just 3 months.
Wow.
It's not a small bump. That's a game changer.
That is huge.
Yeah,
It shows that using the right words can really make a difference.
big time. And, it's not just about aesthetics. It's about connecting with your audience on an emotional level
Right.
and addressing their needs and concerns.
Absolutely. And it's not just about dental clinics either, right? We've seen similar results across a ton of different industries.
Oh, yeah, for sure. From e-commerce stores to tech startups.
Yeah?
The principles remain the same.
So it's clear that writing copy that converts isn't some magical secret.
No.
It's a combination of strategy, psychology, and good old-fashioned writing.
Right.
It's a process, and like any process,
Yeah.
it takes practice and refinement. But the exciting thing is anyone can learn to do it.
For sure, you don't need to be Shakespeare to write good copy.
Yeah, you just have to be clear, be authentic, and speak directly to your audience.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try different approaches, test different wording, see what works.
It's like a science experiment, but for words.
It is. I like that.
So let's recap those key ingredients for creating copy that converts, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, ingredient number 1, know your audience.
Know your audience, yes, inside and out.
Yeah.
You need to understand their pain points, their aspirations, what makes them tick.
It's like putting together a puzzle, but the pieces are your audience's needs and desires.
I love that.
Okay, ingredient number 2, use clear and conversational language.
Yes, ditch the jargon.
Yep.
Write like you're talking to a friend.
Keep it simple. Keep it human. What's next?
Ingredient number 3, focus on benefits, not features.
Yeah.
Don't just tell people what your product or service does. Tell them how it's going to make their lives better.
Paint that picture of the transformation.
Absolutely.
Show them how their life will be different
Yes.
if they choose your product or service.
I like it.
All right, ingredient number 4,
What's that?
use strong calls to action.
Okay, love it.
Tell people what you want them to do.
Yeah, don't be shy about it.
Make it easy for them to take that next step.
Right.
Okay? And ingredient number 5,
What do we got?
leverage the power of storytelling.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
Share your origin story, highlight customer successes, and just connect with your audience on that emotional level.
Because stories are what stick with us,
Yeah.
They make us feel something.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, that's what drives action.
So true.
Yeah.
And finally, ingredient number 6,
Right.
optimize for search engines without sounding like a robot.
So important.
Find that sweet spot
Yeah,
between appealing to the algorithms and appealing to human beings.
exactly.
You got to do both.
Right?
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the technical stuff, but I think there's one more piece that's really important.
What's that?
And that's the importance of finding and telling your unique story. Not just your brand story,
Oh, yeah.
but your story, the story that makes you you.
I love that.
And that's what we're going to dive into in the final part of this deep dive.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into crafting copy that converts. And we're ending on a note that's both powerful and personal, the art of storytelling.
It's so interesting how stories can cut through all the noise and connect with us, like on a deeper level.
Yeah.
They go beyond logic and speak to our emotions.
It's like that saying, people will forget what you said.
Hmm.
People will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
So true.
And stories are really the key to creating those feelings.
Yeah.
But I think this is where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
Like, how do you actually find those stories?
Right.
It's easy to say, tell your story.
Yeah.
But what if you don't even know where to begin?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you're right, it can feel overwhelming. But here's the thing. Everybody has a story. And when it comes to your brand, it doesn't have to be some big epic saga. It's about finding those little authentic moments, those nuggets of truth that connect with your audience.
Those nuggets.
Yeah.
So where do we start digging for those nuggets? What makes a good story? And how do we even know if it's the right story for our brand?
Okay, well, think about the stories that really grab your attention. The ones that leave you feeling inspired or moved. They usually have a conflict, some kind of challenge or struggle that needs to be overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a resolution, some kind of transformation.
It's like that classic hero's journey, right?
Exactly.
They face challenges, go through trials and tribulations, and ultimately emerge transformed.
Totally. But I know what you're thinking.
Wow.
How do we apply that to selling software or running an online store? It's not exactly slaying dragons or rescuing princesses.
Exactly.
But even in the business world, there are still stories to be told.
Okay.
What were some of the challenges you faced when you first started your business? What obstacles did you overcome? What were the moments of doubt, and how did you push through them? Those are the stories that people connect with.
Yeah, because they're relatable.
Exactly.
So it's about being vulnerable,
Yes.
being real, showing that you're not just some big corporation, but a group of people who have faced their own challenges.
Absolutely. And it's also about being specific.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, we're passionate about customer service, tell a story about a time when you really went above and beyond for a customer and how that made you feel. Details bring stories to life.
I love that.
Mm.
It's about finding those moments of truth that highlight your values and connect with your audience on an emotional level.
For sure, but we also have to be mindful of our audience, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
A story that works for one group might not work for another.
Right.
It's just like we talked about knowing your audience in part one. You have to consider their perspective when you're crafting your stories. What are their pain points? What are their aspirations? How can your stories address those needs and desires in a way that feels authentic?
So, for example, if you're a fitness brand, sharing a story about your own struggles with body image or finding the motivation to work out could really resonate with people.
Absolutely. Because it shows them that you understand their struggles.
Yeah.
That you've been there yourself.
And that builds trust.
It does. It builds that connection, which is so important.
Because at the end of the day, people want to do business with people they like and trust.
It's true.
And stories are a powerful way to build that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with this challenge.
Okay.
What's your story? What makes your brand unique and sets you apart? Start there and let that guide your copywriting.
I love that. And remember, it's not about being a literary genius or anything. It's about being authentic, being clear, and speaking directly to your audience. When you do that, you create something powerful, something that can transform not just your business, but the lives of your customers.
That's what it's all about. Thanks for listening.